Just in, Israel has now officially banned all Chinese phones.
Japan's new leader is reportedly considering buying Israeli weapons.
Here's a question that will blow your mind. What if Israel isn't the original? What if Israel is actually copying the playbook that Japan perfected over a century ago? Today we're exploring the uncomfortable truth that Japan is the original Israel of this region. And now, both powers are doubling down on the same imperial strategy. Let's break it down.
Just in, Israel has now officially banned all Chinese phones and Chinese software to be used by their government employees. It is said that they are also planning to ban the use of Chinese technology across different companies, and that they've made an announcement saying that all government employees in Israel could only and would only be allowed to use Apple technology.
Israel bans Chinese phones for security, mandates iPhones, but 85% of iPhones are made in China anyway. This isn't security, it's imperial control theater. Japan perfected this move a century ago. From 1894 onwards, Japan controlled technology and military dominance in East Asia to enforce hegemony, always justified as security and civilization. Israel is running the same playbook: mandate a US-controlled ecosystem, claim you're resistant China, maintain imperial control. Selective security. It's all the same pattern, and most people don't see it.
Japan's new leader is reportedly considering buying Israeli weapons, a move that just stirred up major controversy. Japanese PM Sanai Takaichi's government has signaled interest in purchasing Israeli-made combat drones and weapons from L-based systems. This isn't just a small defense upgrade. Critics say some of these weapons have been used in recent Middle East conflicts. In Japan and abroad, many are raising red flags. Human rights groups warn that the purchase could tie Japan to controversial military actions. Some experts have even floated the idea that Japan's leaders could face international legal scrutiny if the weapons are used in ethically questionable ways. This comes amid heightened tensions over Taiwan, the East China Sea, and raising China. For Tokyo, acquiring advanced weapons may seem like strengthening deterrence, but for Beijing and many in Asia, this signals a shift in Japan's military posture, a worry for regional stability. From China's perspective, this move looks less like defense and more like hedging against regional threats. Such arms deals increase uncertainty, especially for countries watching closely like China and other neighbors. If more arms trade happens, especially from controversial suppliers, regional tension may escalate and trust will be even harder to rebuild. So what do you think? Is Japan simply protecting itself, or is it preparing a riskier path? I'm Luffy, doing a PhD in international relations. Like and follow to be stronger together.
Japan buying Israeli weapons isn't Japan becoming like Israel, it's Japan recognizing itself and learning from a master. Japan's empire stretched from Alaska to Singapore, 1894 to 1945. Military conquest, occupation, the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. After World War II, Japan abandoned explicit imperialism. Not the goal, it just changed tactics. Now, you have the largest military buildup in 40 years, $55 billion defense budget, doubling to 2% of GDP. And now they're buying Israeli weapons. This is the resurrection of Japan's imperial project with modern tech and US backing. Why Israel? Because Israel perfected what Japan pioneered: imperial control through military force. Japan gets hardware and a master class in 21st century imperialism. The hypocrisy? February 2024, Japanese conglomerate Itochu cut ties with Israeli arms maker Elbit over genocide. Japanese civil society said no. The Japanese state said yes, arming itself with weapons tested on Palestinians. That's imperial continuity.
Israel has banned Chinese phones. Just last week, the Israel Defense Forces issued a regulation requiring senior officers to use only iPhones. Supposedly for security reasons, of course. Interestingly, why only iPhones? Because Israel is capable to control iPhones but can't control Chinese brand phones? Should Apple sue Israel? Isn't this damaging Apple's reputation globally? Basically, they are implying Apple is a collaborator of genocide or Zionism, and conversely, shouldn't Chinese phone brands be paying the IDF for advertising? because Israel's ban is actually the base possible security endorsement. Funny enough, Samsung is also banned. Does this mean the IDF's intelligence capabilities have declined so much that they can't even control South Korean devices anymore? Will South Korea get real independence soon from the United States as a colony? But here's the twist, 85% of iPhones are manufactured in China, are they only buying the 15% that aren't made in China? Doesn't this suggest that Israel mainly relies on Apple's software for intelligence operations? Since the software isn't made in China, follow me an Eastern perspective to see the world.
So let's connect the dots. Japan invented the Imperial playbook in East Asia. Israel perfected it in the Middle East, and now they're joining forces. Not because one is copying the other, but because they recognize they're pursuing the same goal: regional hegemony through military dominance and the erasure of rival powers. The Israel of East Asia isn't a future threat. Japan is the original. And by buying Israeli weapons, Japan is saying, we're going back to our imperial roots and we're bringing the lessons of Gaza with us. This should terrify anyone who cares about peace in Asia. When two imperial powers align, when one teaches the other how to perfect occupation and control, the stakes are enormous. And it's happening right now in real time, while most people aren't paying attention. What do you think? Did this connection shock you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if this analysis resonated with you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.